Do you judge people based on what they put on their social networks? If so, how?
Yeah, I do, because if a girl posts pictures of her half naked and stuff like that, I'll unintentionally assume the worst of her. And if people post a bunch of pictures about them drinking and stuff all the time, I'll think bad of them, even though I don't mean to. But just seeing that kind of stuff makes you look trashy sometimes, I guess.
Has texting or using any other form of electronic communication handicapped your vocabulary or ability to hold a formal conversation?
My vocabulary, I guess sometimes it makes it hard for good grammar because you don't have to use any of that in texting, so it's easier to just forget about what you learned at school that day and just text however you want. As far as talking informal, I think sometimes it kind of depends on who I'm talking to, because some people I can text all day and then I can't hold a conversation with in person.
Do you prefer to be taught via the internet or do you prefer a teacher to teach you instead?
I kind of like both. I want my teacher to teach me, but I don't mind using the internet for some things. I think that a teacher should give you the information that you need, and then if you need to do things like take a test online and stuff like that, I think that's okay.
Do you text and drive?
I try not to. I have a couple of times, and I get really upset when I do, but for the most part, I try to put my phone away.
Do you think texting while driving impairs your driving ability?
Definitely. I mean, you're not looking at the road. Worse than being drunk and looking at the road.
Do you think using these social networks causes people to become antisocial? Why or why not?
I think people who are really shy to begin with who use social networks grow too dependent on them because they don't even have to talk to someone in person. They can just rely on a social network. And so I think that makes people even more shy and really antisocial.
Would you be able to go without texting, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or whatever for a day?
It would be hard. I mean, not texting anyone, gosh, that would suck, especially at lunch. I could probably do without like Facebook or Instagram and all that for a day, but texting, I don't think I could.
What about a week for all of them?
That would be way too hard. I don't think I could do it.
Alright. Do you judge people based on what they put on their social networks? If so, how?
I'd say I do. Like, not the first one or two weird things they put on there, but if they're constantly putting weird, just abnormal things on there, I'd say I do.
Has texting or using any other form of electronic communication handicapped your vocabulary or ability to hold a formal conversation?
I'd say it wouldn't, because I feel that my generation and the generation before us didn't grow up that technology, and so we're used to having more face-to-face conversations. But I don't know about the upcoming generation.
Do you prefer to be taught via the internet or do you prefer a teacher teach you?
Teacher, hands down, because I feel like it's just more personal and you can get a better explanation of things.
Alright. Do you text and drive?
Yes.
Do you think texting while driving impairs your driving ability?
Yes.
Do you think using these social networks causes our generation to become antisocial?
In ways, yeah. In ways, no. I guess it depends on the person how it affects them.
Would you be able to go without texting or Facebook or anything for a day?
Yeah.
What about a week?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you judge people based on what they put on their Facebook, Twitter, or any other social websites? If so, how?
I do, even though you're not supposed to judge, I do judge if they have pictures of drinking on there, partying, smoking, if they have cussing, and I do judge, and I wouldn't want my child to hang out with that person.
Do you think texting and the use of social networks has distorted younger generation's ability to interact with others? If so, how?
Yes, I do, because all they do is text on the telephone. They can carry on a conversation on the telephone, but they cannot pick up the phone and call somebody, or they can't have that same conversation on the phone or in person with them. So I do think that impairs their ability to carry on a conversation.
Do you text and drive?
I have. I don't anymore, but I have.
Does texting while driving impair your ability to drive, do you think?
Yes, I think it does. You take your eyes off the road forever, and you go a long way without even realizing it, and you don't even know how far you've gone. So yes, I do. And I've been behind people that are texting, and they weave over into my lane. So yes, I do.
Do you think you'd be able to go without all these technology forms for a day?
Yes, I do.
What about for a week?
Yes, I would. As long as my children could, I could.